I've applied the HDR toning effect under image adjustments and HDR toning here, but unfortunately it gives me this blue haze over the bridge here. Just that one section of the bridge, so it sort of disappears down here. How do we fix this, or how do we edit this to make it look, a bit more uniform? So starting from here we have an image. We've applied some HDR to it. This was originally a camera raw edited image, or it was a raw file. And so now what we're going to do is just apply a few different effects. First of all, the dodge and burn tool. This is basically, if you have ever done any old photograph processing, you know that when you expose the film, or expose the film over the paper that you're basically putting the photograph on, the more light you use, the more overexposed it becomes. Well, you can also dodge certain areas of the photograph, or basically overexpose certain areas, and that's basically what the dodge tool does. So maybe we'll use it over here, and up in our options bar we'll want to make sure that the edge of the brush is set to 0. So we might overexpose just a few of these things down here, and this is actually oftentimes what it was used for. You would use it on the corners of photographs. And let's also use the burn tool and darken up just the top edge there of the bridge. It's basically underexposing it. And now what we're going to do is using this quick selection tool, which behind it's the magic wand, but we're going to use just the quick selection tool just to get the top area of the bridge, and naturally it selects the entire bridge. If we go up to select refine edge, we just want to make sure that we have the top area of the bridge. I'm going to use the smart radius here for edge detection. And it's going to take a couple seconds because I'm recording this. There we go. So using the refine radius tool and the right bracket key will increase the brush size. Just simply go over those contrasting edges. It'll clean that up for us. And perhaps one more right there. And that looks good. Let's click OK. Now hitting the letter Q will take us to the quick mask, which is, if you see my mouse right here on the tool panel, enter quick mask mode. Quick mask is basically a way to refine your selection using the brush tool, the colors black and white, and it's one of my favorite tools for selecting, because I can get a nice feathered edge or very soft edge and really get what I'm going for. So I've got a nice clean edge up here, and now a nice feathered edge on the bridge itself, or the wall. Hitting the letter Q will take me out of the quick mask mode. It doesn't show you that feathered edge, but we can see it in just a moment here. We're going to add an adjustment layer, the channel mixer. So if we really increase some blue, we can see what it does, but what we're going to do is work from top down, increase the red, but just a little bit. And really what we're going for is we're trying to get any of that blue haze out of the wall or the stones. We kind of want it to be uniform as possible, and if anything, we want it to contrast with the sky, the blue sky. So if it's a little bit red, that's okay. So now we go to Image Adjustments and HDR Toning. It gives us this warning because we created a different adjustment layer, and yes, we do want to flatten it. That's okay. We're going to use the default. It's going to give us some suggestions here, and this time we're going to go crazy with the detail. And let's see if we can bring back some of that blue sky with some vibrance and saturation. Typically, anytime you increase the vibrance, you want to increase the saturation as well. And I want to see a little bit more detail on the plane, so let's decrease the radius just a smidge. And this looks good. So this is the effect I'm going for. As you can see, it took out a lot of that blue haze. It's kind of red now, but it sort of flows better with the actual bridge itself, and also gives it more of a contrast between the bridge and the sky, which is what I wanted.